Everybody, this is Jacob from Wager Me This. Let me get this adjusted. It'll let me. This is being not cooperative. Alright, I like that. It'll work. What I'm trying to do. Anyways, guys, I'm going to shoot the dice a little bit, show a little bit of my favorite type of gameplay. It's just 6, 7, 8, just variations of it with, just a few different like toolbox type moves thrown in. And it's just the way I play when I play at the table. This is going to be kind of like that example. All right. I like to play with the ATS. I'm not going to try to keep track of the ATS here, but I also play that when I'm playing. It's actually a big part of what I do, just because I know within the course of 10 till 15 shooters, you're probably going to get some opportunities to make some money on it. All right, so here's my $1,000. I'm going to start with $1,000, and guys, if I can, I like to have $100 don't. If I can. If I can't, but with $1,000, I feel like you can. I like to play a $4.11 bet and a $1 C bet in this instance. All right, and I also usually have a 555 ATS. We're not going to worry about that today. All right, let's grab a couple. Hey Cleveland, how are you, buddy? And so what I'm going to do, hopefully, yeah, you guys can see all that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the dice how I like to shoot the dice. Okay, so there's two ways I like to shoot the dice here. I either like to shoot for the horn number, or I like to shoot for a point number, like a box number. And I have two different ways that I like to shoot it. All right, so I'm going to start by shooting for the horn number. This doesn't mean I will roll a horn number. It's just I feel like I get a better success rate when I do this. So I shoot the 1, 2, 1, 3, just the normal style shot. I don't consider myself a dice controller, guys. I don't. But I do this, and I get pretty consistent with it. I do okay with it. I really do. 3, 2, 5. Okay. So $25 goes down. And I keep that in mind, right? I know I lost $25 there. And that's on my mind. All right, so I get the 5, 6, or the 8. I'm going to go 60, 60, and then 20 in the field. And why do I do 20 in the field? Reason is because both of them pay 70. So that means if I get the 6 or 8, I win 50. If I get anything in the field, I win either 20 or 40. All right, and then so what do I get? So I got 120, 140. So I like to put a little bit of odds. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But I like it to cover what I'm doing. All right, so now I'm going to switch to the 6542. This just tends to give me box numbers. I may hit the 5, but guys, honestly, I'm not all that worried about hitting the 5. If I do, I do. I don't. I trust my strategy that it'll work itself out. All right, 0.7. That's why I like to cover with my odds correctly. I don't like to undercover. I like to give it everything, All right, 100 there, 50 there. So we didn't make any money. We actually lost a little bit from this bet, but that 7 didn't hurt us. And so I see a lot of people play this type of hybrid strategy, but they don't cover all the way with their don't. And guys, in my opinion, that doesn't make any sense to not cover all the way with your don't. If you're not going to do that, why are you even playing the don't? It doesn't even make sense to put it out there then. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 1, 3. Second shot. We got an 11. This is why I like to put so much money on the 11. All right, I got 4 chips on the 11, 4 $5 chips. That's going to pay $300. I'm going to lose this 100, but they're going to give me 300 for it. So And because you know, each 5 is $75. All right, so I'm going to put it back. And when I hit one of those horn numbers on the come out, I like to progress this. So what I'm going to do is I usually go to 30 and 10. I leave the don't the same. Here we go. And there's the 5 again. Remember, I just made $300 basically. Not quite. Obviously, I only made 200, but still, it was a pretty good win, right? All right. Next one, same thing. We got on the point of 5, so we're going to jump into the iron cross. Hopefully, we don't PSO again, but if we do, that's fine. We're going to be ready for it, right? We're going to have it covered all the way. So if we do PSO, it's fine. 6542. Here we go. Let's see if I can get a few numbers here. There's the 9. All right. So what I like to do on this first hit, because I lost this $25 over there. Hello, Mr. Wilson. How are you, buddy? Since I lost that $25, I like to collect the first hit, no matter what it is. I collect the first one. And then after that, I specifically do things like I use the field to spread out over the 4, 9, and the 10, and then I will collect the 6 and 8 hits. Here we go, and there's an 8, 6 deuce 8. So what's going to happen here? We're going to lose this. And we're going to win 70 on the 8. We're going to replace that. Anytime I hit the 6 and 8, I collect the 2 green chips. All right, this isn't difficult. Once you quit worrying about the come out on the don't, that's a big part of playing hybrid, is worrying about that don't come out. Once you get to where you don't care about that no more, it doesn't really matter to you what happens, because you know that it's going to come back in the end. Even if a bad run happens, you're going to be okay. All right, $70 winner on the 6. Place that. So like for example right here, even though if I would have lost on the 5 here, I just made $100 in 2 rolls. So I mean, what am I really losing? I mean, it's not like it's just going to destroy me if I hit that 5. And so that's kind of the idea behind why I like to do it the way I like to do it. And there's the hard 4. Okay, so remember, we already had our first collection, so we're way in the green here, or the black, or whatever you want to call it. It's the hard 4. It's going to win $20. I'm going to pick up the 10. So now if I roll a 10, I win on both, which is very nice. When you get some of those double wins in, it adds up pretty quickly. Here we go. And we got a 9, 6, 3, 9. I'll try to keep them out of this corner. That way you guys can for sure see them here. Let's see if I can pull it out. I'm not a professional stick man here. Here we go. 6, 3, 9. Okay, same thing. It's going to win $20. So I'm going to get the 4. I usually get the 4 and 10 first, because I feel like this dice control style or set or whatever, I tend to roll 4s and 10s a lot. And okay, we hit our 5. Great. Okay, so we're going to lose $175. How much have we won? So we've released one 20, 40. We run the initial 20, 60, and 2 sets of 50 at least. So I mean, what did we really lose? And then if I was on the ATS, I would have been hitting all those numbers already. So it doesn't bother me, right? And I know I won 300 or 200 earlier. Like, it doesn't bother me. This loss too, sorry. So those are place bets out there. We're just going to leave them. I'm going to play the don't again. I'm going to play it exactly how I started. Those place bets will be off. We're gonna go the 1, 2, 1, 3 again. Would be very nice to like roll a 3 here or a 2, obviously. And 11 is great as well. 6, 5, yep. Why? Because we have that big yo bet. All right, so we're going to lose this money. We're going to win 300 on this yo bet. Replace it. Hopefully we roll another one, right? I mean, that's just a couple $100 a pop. Oh, I grabbed the 6542, so I should get a box number, and I did. So when I want a number, I use that 6542 usually, because I'll get in the boxes usually. All right, so not exactly what I was trying to do. I kind of messed up there, but that's fine. All right, so here we go. In this case, with what I have out there, I would just break this up like that. That way I have everything. I would leave it out there. And honestly, because this is post the initial on this one, the initial that lost, I've won $400 on the 11. I lost 175. I would just leave this like this at this point, because this is different than an initial coverage, right? My initial coverage is still there. So now I'm just going to try to hit a few of these numbers. 6542. Hopefully I don't pop this 6 right away, but if I do, I do. I mean, I've won multiple hundreds of dollars already. And there's the 4, 3, 1. As you can see, I'm not playing the Iron Cross no more, because this is a little different situation. I'm already spread out over the numbers. There's not, I mean, you could still play it, obviously. I get my 4 change here, and that's going to win 40. All right. Some people want to cover that hard 6. Nothing wrong with that. If you'd like to jump out there on the hard 6, do it. It doesn't really matter to me all that much. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. It just depends. It's kind of just a preference play. And there's the 8, 6 deuce. So right now, we just, like last roll, we won 40. And this roll, we won 70. So this is a free roll right here, because we're going to collect this. So we won 40 and 70. That's an 8. So that's more than 100. So now we're just kind of playing that for free. So whatever happens out there happens. If we win that, great too. As you can see, so now when we hit a few numbers, we can press however we would like to press. And I will start pressing, because I've got that don't paid for. And there's a 5, 4, 1. $35. All right, there's a couple ways to do this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take these up to a quarter. That way I'm looking healthy out there. I like to call it looking healthy. And guys, so in the rack, I'm just going to show you the rack really quick. So that's a little short. That looks like it's $50 short. So that's $4.50, $5.50, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10, $11. We're at about $12.50, $11.60. Sorry, $11.60. But the thing is on the table, we can't lose both of these. We can either lose that or we can lose those. We can't lose both. So we're up multiple hundreds of dollars no matter what. We can easily quit with our $1,500 right now. And there's a 3, 1, 2, 3. That would probably put us, I think all we would need would be the 2, maybe for the small. I haven't been keeping track of it. I'm pretty sure. And there's the 10. We love the 10, right? I'm going to drop $1. I'm going to catch 50 on the rebound here. And see, this is my style of play. This isn't going to work for everybody. And this is another thing I want to talk about. Like, just because this works for me, guys, does not mean it will work for you. You know, the way I'm throwing the dice, the way the strategy will work for you, obviously, because the strategy is just based in math. I'm actually going to bump this 8 up again. So maybe I can get a $100 winner out of it. So, you know, it's not, craps is different for everybody. Especially if you're talking about dice control. There are techniques, obviously, that are consistent throughout. The 10, let's drop a dollar, get 50. There are obviously techniques that's consistent throughout, and I use one here. I throw a very par style shot, by PARR style shot. And the reason I do it is because it works. It works for me. If you shoot a different style of shot, great. If it works for you, shoot it. Honestly, to me, if your shot works for you, throw it however you want. You could kick the dice down the table for all I care. If it works, it works. And there's the hard 6. So boom, we got knocked off. If we would have covered the hard 6, would have been great. All right, we've won way more than $100. That's not a huge deal. All right, so I've been knocked off twice on this shooter on myself. Obviously, I would go to the light side here. I would just stay light side from here on out. So I'm going to put a minimum pass line bet so I can keep shooting the dice, because normally I would still be going for the ATS. And all that out there is mostly profit money. There's a good chance with the way that 8 is looking, I would split that 8 in half with the 6 here. This, I would probably do it like that. But that's about the only adjustment I'd make. I'd be off on the come out, and I would stick with the 6-5-4-2, and I would just keep attacking. Here we go. And there's the 9, 6-3, 6-3, 9. And so right here, this is where a lot of people will get scared, right? They got a lot of money out there, supposedly. But look at your rack. Think about what you're at in your rack. So there's 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I'm up almost $200 just in the rack. So if that's good enough for you, keep rolling. Leave it out there like that. If it's not good enough for you, pull your money down. Go to 96 across. Take that money out of the game. Whatever you want to do. Remember, this is your money. Whatever you're comfortable with. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep shooting it because I'm in the profit in the rack. I feel like I'm shooting pretty good here. Obviously, I could roll a 7 right here. But I feel like I got a good chance to make some more money. And there's a 3-1-4. I feel like my shot is hitting on target. Drop a dollar. We're going to get 50. All right, let's press the 5. All right, same thing here. I know I'm only collecting $25 per hit there, but I'm giving myself the opportunity to win more each time as well. So there is value to it. Plus, I'm in the profit. Not a lot of reason to get scared. And there's the 7. 5 deuce. 5 deuce 7. Overall, at that point, I believe I probably would have just needed the 2 and the 12, I think. So I probably would have, if I would have been playing the ATS, I would have had a lay bet out there somewhere, most likely. But, I mean, everything worked just fine how it worked. You know, so what are we up? We got 500, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We're up $200. And don't get me wrong, we could have went home with $500 easily at any time there. And that's fine if you wanted to do that. So we're going to restart the process. The $100 don't. Like this. All right, here we go. This time I'm going to shoot to right dice set 1, 2, 1, 3. Hopefully we hit a 2 or a 3 or an 11. Here we go. See if we can get it. This is one of the things that I also do, and I'm glad this rolled, because this is the horniest 7 there is. By that I mean it's a 6 and a 1, horn numbers. Sometimes I will hop just that. Sometimes I will hop just the 6-1. And obviously I didn't there, but sometimes I will. Like if my previous shot had been really bad and I just rolled a lot of 7s, I probably would hop it. for whatever reason, which is not unusual, but the 1, 2, 1, 3 will roll a lot of 6 1s. Obviously, if one dice ends up upside down, it's going to be a 6 1. And so that's how I get those. Here we go. There's another one, see? So this is something about dice control that I believe, personally I believe that's a good shot. Why is that a good shot? Because if you're throwing a par shot, that's a completely on-axis shot, right? I mean, it's not a perfect shot, obviously, but the 1, 2, 1, 3 should get you 6 1s, and because it's just the other side of the dice. All right, stick with what I'm doing. So far, I just lost all my profit, which kind of sucks. In those situations where profit goal. And they're 5-4. I threw that one just a little harder, almost randomizing the dice a little bit on purpose because I was rolling that 6-1. I didn't want to roll another one. All right, let me get 5 red chips. I just didn't want to roll another, you know, I mean, obviously I was hitting them on target, so I don't want to keep doing that. Okay, now, so it's not the 5, 6, or the 8, so I'm just going to go across the numbers. And I'm going to put 75 in odds. So that covers everything I need to cover. 6, 5, 4, 2. So 6, 5, 4, 2, there's a really good chance I'll roll a 9. If I do, I do. Here we go. And there's a 5, 3 deuce. I've put a little more velocity on my shot. I need to take it back off because of the 6 1s. I need to refocus that and start hitting in the right spots and all those things. All right, collect that first one every time. All right, here we go. That was more better. Drop $1. Get 50 on that hard 10. All right. I'm gonna press my 6. There we go. Come on, 6. 6, 3, 9. Punched in my head, right? Yeah, not really. It's a good shot. That means that I throw a pretty good shot. I don't, hello Mike, how are you, buddy? It doesn't bother me. I know people get so worked up about hitting their points in these kind of strategies. Guys, that's going to happen. Especially if you feel like you're any good at shooting the dice. You're going to hit the numbers you have out there. That's the idea of why you're shooting the dice. Right? The place bets are going to be off. But it's also going to save your butt a lot of the times. Here we go. 8, okay. No big deal. Not exactly what I was looking for. It had a kind of a goofy hop to it. I don't really know what happened there. All right, so I'm going to go to the Iron Cross here. Let me get red chips. And on the 8, I guess I'm going to go 60. Okay, so I have like 200, 300, 400, 500. I need to make some money here, right? 6, 5, 4, 2. 5, 2, 7. That's why I cover it for the whole. That was a really pretty shot too. Just didn't get it. Oops, dang it. Okay. 100 there. 50 there. Restart. Oh, cool. Here we go. There's that 3. Sorry guys, I had to let my dog in. All right, so we just rolled the 3. So this is going to lose, but it's going to pay 35 here. And then that's going to win 100 right there. All right, we're just going to rack it. And then on this, I'm going to bump that up. Go to 5. I only collect $5 on that. Might as well just probably play it all. But my goal is if I'm trying to hit a second horn number here. Honestly, it doesn't matter which one. Because we're going to make a bunch more money. So let's see if we can get a second one in there. Oh, dang it. 3 deuce 5. But if you can get 3 in a row, you can really make some money. All right, so we got the 5. I'm going to do the same thing we've been doing. No deviation. 75 in odds. Now I'm going to switch to the 6542 in order to hopefully roll a couple numbers. There's the 9. That's a good one for us. In this case, I wouldn't necessarily care about collecting because remember we hit the horn the first time, so that horn was kind of free. But I will collect just to keep it, but I wouldn't necessarily worry about it at that point because I'd already won it. All right, hopefully we hit some numbers here. There's the 8, so that's a $50 winner overall. It's going to win 70, it's going to lose the field. It's a very good looking roll for all you dice enthusiasts, dice shooting enthusiasts. Here we go. And we have the hard 6. A very nice roll again. Had a little hard bounce out, but still a good roll. $70. Rack it. I always rack the 6 and 8 because it pays you 2 green chips. So I feel like that it's worth collecting that. And then on these, I like to obviously cover the rest of the numbers and try to get some extra hits in. And we got the 6 again. So I just made $150 in 3 rolls on the Iron Cross, which is nice. All right, $70. Rack that up. Here we go. That was ugly. Oh, that fell out of my hand. I got really lucky there. They fell out of my hand real funny. $20. I'm going to pick up the 9. No, I'm just shooting the dice myself. I'm just showing people the way I like to play personally and how I go about it. I'm just acting like these are all my shots. And there's the hard 6 again. $70 winner. Rack that up. Put that back. So right now I'm at, just in the rack alone, I have $800 in the rack. So if this was enough for you, like, hello, Poker Maniac. We'll have to figure that out, Mike, whenever we can get together again. We definitely need to do that. But like if you were worried about getting your money back or whatever, you could look at it like, okay, I have 800 in there. You know, I could take this down, go to 96 across and stuff like that. So let's do that here. Let's just, so Because some people that matters to them. All right, so racking it all up, what do I have? I'm obviously not taking that down. I'm going to leave that. Okay, so I have 500, 800, 1,000. So this is what I would have to play with if you were worried about, like, if you were concerned that you had got beat up a little bit and now you needed to get back. So I'd play with these. Like $10, I'm going to get $10 in white. All right, collect your $4. So no matter what happens here, you can end $4 ahead. No matter what, well, you actually have to end more than that because you can't lose both of these bets. Here we go. Aces, there goes our aces. Now obviously you would probably still out there for the all tall small, so that would be really good there, getting that aces out of the way, because I believe in this shot we also hit a 3, right? So we may be basically one number away, or we may have just got it. I don't know if we've rolled a, well yeah, if we've rolled that 3, we've got it. And there's the 4, we don't have the 4 no more. So that could have easily been a small hit. Can't remember the exact rolls, obviously. And there's the 3, so that would have been it anyway, whether we had the 3 or not. We just rolled the 3. So, again, that could have been some extra money. I just don't want to, without the little circles and stuff, hello, Midland. I need to just go on and get a new layout with all that on it. And there's the 5, so we got knocked off after all that mess for shooting for 100 years. But guys, I wouldn't have regressed down, but that's fine if you did. That was a 5, not a 6. In this case, what I would do, I would just pull this down here, because if we already made the regression to make sure we had our original bankroll, I'm not going to go back out there, right? So 6, 5, 4, 2, and I would be off on my place bets. Here we go. And 7 on the come out, nice. Right? I would give me the 5, and that's how I'd play that. If I hit a couple more come out winners, I hope I hit 3 more come out winners. I'll have all the numbers then. So maybe we get another 7 or an 11 here. And again, this is just me adjusting as I'm going here, guys. That's all it is. 6, 2, 8. That was a short roll. That was a bad roll. Got a good number out of it, but it was a bad roll. All right, just move that over. Collect my $3. All right, now I got the inside numbers. Playing them for free. Again, if you got worried or something, you didn't have all your money. I don't know. And there's an 11. We need that last roll. But we would have been done, we wouldn't have been able to get the tall because, or the all, because we did roll a 7 in there. But I believe we would have hit the small there. And out. Okay. So again, that's not how I necessarily would have played it, but I get why people do that, why they regress to profit, especially after they take a beating there for a minute. You know, well, obviously, you know, when you start losing money, especially after the way we started where we were winning money, and then all of a sudden, bam, you're down 200. It's like, oh man, so people get conservative, they get regressive, and I get it. It makes it, there's plenty of sense in it. It's not like it doesn't make sense, it does. All right, $100. We get $100 in red chips here. Four and 1. All right, let's see what happens. 1, 2, 1, 3 for me. Now this ain't gonna work for everybody. Here we go. The strategy wheel. but the dice control won't. And we got an 8. I changed my landing zone a little bit. Not on purpose. I did because it was a terrible throw. Hello. How are you guys? Changed it because it was a terrible throw. Not on purpose. 60 here. 50, 60. We're going to go in the iron cross again. All right. Remember, I like to collect that first hit. After that, I like to use the field to press and collect the 5 and 6. Stay with me 8 if I can, or not. Roll 5, 3, 8 right out the door. That's the one thing about the 6 and 8 when you're on the don't. It's very difficult to miss them. It just is. That's why. Yeah. The really got robbed on the 6 points because there was a terrible foul at the end of the game. One of the Boston guys just shoved one of the Nuggets guys down, and they just called it a play normal to the game. I couldn't believe it. It tied, but if you maybe got it at different, if you got a hook on it or something, you might have got. Here we go. There we go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So we just got most of that money back that we just lost. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So this is going to fall. You're going to win 35 on the C bet. You're going to win 100 on that bet. Obviously, nothing happens up there. All right, here we go. See if we can repeat it. This is a big part of this. If you can roll 2 of these in a row, you are going to be in really good shape. Get on there. Oh, I saw the 1 come up. Oh, 5, 1, 6. Oh. Okay, this is going to fall. I'm going to go here. Oh, I need, let's get 5 white chips. Turn them into a red. Oh, we got to get red chips anyways. You didn't see that. And sometimes guys, I feel like there's 7 action coming, and I'll play bigger odds. Sometimes. I'm not saying I feel like that here, but sometimes there is, and I feel like it, and I'll jump out there with a little more money on the 7. Or less money on the place bets. There's a 1, 2, 3. All right. Collect that first one. Again, that's a preference thing. A lot of craps is preference. Tons of the craps game is just preference. It's just what you like. Because everything can work. And 7 outs. Maybe I was right. Maybe I was feeling it. 7. Okay, no big deal. It's going to pay 100 there. It's going to pay 50 right there with the 60 in odds. Re-rack it. Looks like we're basically where we started. Obviously, we could have left up a couple $100 earlier, but that would have been a very short video. Wouldn't have been no fun. But as you can tell, this is maintaining itself, and you'll catch one good one, or you'll catch a good ATS or something with it, and that's what I like about it. All right, here we go. Can we get some horn numbers? And we got that stupid 6-1 again. Should have hopped that sucker. Dang, 6-1. Now, sometimes I do progress this too. Like sometimes if I see that and I'm like, that was just a bad shot, I may jump up here to 150. I go 25 there, and I still leave the same 5. This is just all preference. Just all me making plays in the game of craps. All right. Could I get burned on it right here? Oh yeah. And it's happened. And just like that, I could get burned just like that. But now, when I do this, if I do decide to progress it like that, I'm not going to get scared from there. I've made that decision now that if I get burnt right there, I have to keep going. We're going to go to 250. You still just need 25 there because that's going to pay you 375. And so when you make those decisions to progress, you kind of got to stick with it. And it could burn you. You could lose. There's a 516. I mean, it could cost you your whole 1,000 easily. But what you're doing is when you put that bigger money out there like that, now you're giving yourself a better chance to win more money because you're going to be able to play the box numbers bigger. All right, so I got 250 right there. If I go Iron Cross, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to try to either win $100 or $75. So what I would do is I'd have 75 there. I just don't know if I have enough money to do it. It doesn't look like I have enough money to do it. Because it takes 125 and 150. And I don't quite have that. But what I could do is I could go 125 there. Oops. And 150 there and only have 50. So for the first roll, it's going to be only 50 in the field. Now, I could easily roll this 6 here, and my day could be over. Or I could go on a little run and make a chunk of change. It just depends. Heart 8, okay, square pair. All right, so this is going to fall. I'm going to turn this into black chips. That way we can see it right. 150. 125. Okay, so that's going to pay 175. Put that 75 back in there. Now, no matter what, I either got to win 75, 150 on the 2 and the 12, or 100 on the 5 and the 8. And as long as I don't hit that 6, we'll be okay. Here we go. And there's the 10. 10's going to pay me $75. I'm just going to rack it up. And so if you can get to this point, whether it's by chasing, progressing, whatever you want to call it, or whether you're winning and you can move up to this point, this is a really good spot to be in the Iron Cross. Because it's pretty nice every roll to win at least $75. And there's that heart 6. We might have should have covered it that time. I wasn't paying enough attention. But that might have been a good spot to cover that heart 6. That was ugly. That was painful. And that's a mistake, right? When you have that much money out there, it does make sense to cover that. So that was just a mistake on my part. All right, so what do we have? 375, 400, 500. We have about half our bankroll left. Let's go 300 here. And at this point, if this happened to me just in this same sequence like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to just a purely don't type strategy with no place bets and just try to win my money back on the don't. Here we go. 325. All right. I'm just going to shoot at this. So 75 in odds. There's no hard 5 to play. You could play a couple come bets, whatever. You could throw those two $25 chips on the 4 and 10 or something. All that makes sense. I'm not going to worry about it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot this set that usually gets me 7s, 4, 2, 4, 2. And I'm going to try to roll a 7. And there it is, 617. That went a lot better than that looked a lot prettier than it usually works. So there we go. We just want a huge chunk of our money back. All right, same situation. I'm gonna throw that quarter down there. Let me get some red chips. All right, let's see if I can win one more time, because then basically I'll have all my money back. All right, maybe we can win on the come out. Come on, 2 or 3. 11's fine too. 6, okay, that's not great. It's not the one we want. Those are not the droids we are looking for. This time we are going to cover the hard 6. I made that mistake last time. We're not going to make it twice. Right? So a quarter. It's, what's that? 90, 180, so that's 2 something. So we'll go $40. All right. Obviously, I don't want to shoot the 4242 at this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shoot the 6556. Similar to it. Hopefully I can stay away. And there's the 10. Okay, 6410. We're really looking for that old 7 outer. Very important at this point. I know the 6556 is full of 5-1s, but I'm throwing it hard. Just trying to keep one on, one off. 314 is my idea behind this. This is what I'm thinking in my head as I'm doing this. This is my reasoning behind it. Here we go. 8. I thought we had it there. It kind of jumped off that 5 on us. You could also shoot like the 1-2-1-2 at it. It's kind of the same thing. Or the 1-2-2-1. It's still kind of the same, you know. It's just upside down. 5. This is going to be like an hour-long roll. And then we'll roll an easy 6 at the end of it. That's how it usually goes, right? 6, 5, 5, 6. Here we go. 4, 1, 5 again. Let's go 1, 2, 2, 1 this time. Same thing. It's just upside down. Move our landing zone over there. We got beat up. Beat up. Shouldn't have moved the landing zone. Let's try to manufacture a 7 out of there. 6 is really, really difficult to deal with. It's almost worth taking that down. I know people say that's not true, but it is almost worth it. Okay. We'll put all this on there. We got to make our money back, right? 1, 2, 1, 3. This could be the end of the show. Well, this could be the end of the shooting. Hard 4. It's a good one for us. It's much easier to avoid this, right? Much easier avoider. At this point, if I did have more money in my pocket, I would probably pull it out and put it on the hard 4, just as a little hedge. But what I'm going to shoot to try to avoid this hard 4, you know, on the hard 10, I shoot the 2, 3, 3, 2. So on this one, I shoot, it's the 6, 5, 5, 6 again. I know that has a hard 4 on it, but that's the only 4 on it. Hopefully, I can pull a 7 out of this. 6, 5, 1. It'd be nice to get that 7 out of there. And again, you could just randomly throw these. I mean, there's plenty of intelligence in that. You know, you're going to get most likely Let's get a 7 pretty quick. There's the hard 6. You stay away from those 3s. As long as I can roll a 4 and higher, I can never roll that 4. On one dice, as long as I can get a 4 or higher on one of the dice, you can never roll that 4. So hopefully, I can start doing that. And there's the 8. Yeah, I may have hit the last 4 points. It's been pretty good shooting. Just trying to show thought processes and ideas behind why I do things when I do them. There's the 5. And I wouldn't have necessarily chased this one. But I just wanted to show what it might look like if I did. And there's the 5 again. Boy, we were crushing this 5. Absolutely stomping it. I keep doing little different things in my shot as well. Like I'm throwing it higher, I'm throwing it lower, throwing it to different spots, and I'm not really getting any deviation. So let's go to the far corner. See what we get out of there. Square pair. Square pair. If you have not subscribed to my buddies at Square Pair, you should. They would appreciate it. I would appreciate it. One of the things that I feel like I've accomplished the most on YouTube and with the Craps channel and stuff is helping out other channels. Like that's one of the things that I feel like I've done better than anything else is helped out other people. So I'm trying to help these guys get to 1,000 so they can start making a little money. 5, 4, 1 again. Jeez, we're just crushing this 5. It's a different 5 this time. They were 3 2s before, but still crushing that. Wrong time, right? We didn't have a bunch of money out there. Five, 4, 9. Okay, so at least we're starting to maybe see some different numbers. Maybe we can get that 7 out of there eventually. 5, the old 3-2 is back. What a roll, right? This is a very good roll. Wrong time. Would have been much better when we had a bunch of money out there. There it is. Okay. So it looks like we're at $700, $730. I mean, you started with 1,000. It's not like our heart's broken or something, you know. Stick with our little progression. Yeah, that's true, right? That is true. That's funny how that works. So I got 730. So let's go 300 again. See if we can roll a come out winner, right? 1, 2, 1, 3. Let's see if we can hit that 3 or the 2. 2's a little luckier. See if we can get that 3 out of there. Oh, it was right on it. It literally jumped right off there. Right, absolutely. I totally agree. They just really don't do very good. I appreciate that. Yeah, and I love helping. I love helping everybody because I had help not when I first started, but when I restarted. Guys helped me. 36 Volt Press, he helped me out. Even Color Up helped me out, and Rick from Let It Roll helped me out. So I had help too. I mean, I love that. So I love trying to help pass that on. All right, so we're on the 4. So hopefully we don't smack our 4. We're going to try to dodge it again. This is a tricky spot, right? Because you think this is a good spot to just kind of go for it, right? Put all the odds. And with the way this game, if this was the exact game I played and this is exactly how it went, I was up some, didn't leave when I was supposed to, changed up a little bit, now it went way down. Would this be your shop? You'd be like, okay, I'm going for it right here. Win, lose, or draw. I'm going to put it all out there, cover it on the hard, put the don't, and try to win. Is that a good plan? Well, yeah, because you're a 2-1 favorite, so it's a plan. It's a good plan. So that's what we're going to do here. I'm actually going to just drop this right here. Do I need to go that big? No, we can go 75, I think. And then I'm going to put 320. And I'm just going to see if I can roll a 7 before a 4. I mean, even just randomly throwing the dice, you're a 2-1 favorite. So, what does this pay? Let me think. Okay, so if obviously if 100 pays 700, and you minus, so it's about right. It's like $500. Am I stream sniping? I didn't mean to. I just decided to go on. All right, can we get a 7 before a 4? There's a 9, 5, 4, 9. I hope I'm not stream sniping people. I don't like to do that. Here we go. 617. There we go, baby. Got her out of there. Hold it right out of there. Okay, so 320 is going to win 160, I guess. And then obviously the flat 3. Nice. Master Jacob. You're so full of it. You're so full of it, George. Hey, we're up 50, 60, 70, $82 in the positive. $82 in the positive after all that, right? Just making craps intelligent plays. I mean, we got in trouble. We went back to, Old Faithful, the don't, and made a couple good shots shooting the dice, got some good points, and made some 7s happen. I mean, it's not unusual. It's not like it got lucky, right? That's the thing is, I didn't get lucky. I had a 4, so I went for it on the 4. I mean, you're a 2-1 probability favorite at that point, so why not go for it, right? I mean, you're never going to be in a better spot. So, could I have lost? Oh yeah, absolutely. But did I lose? No, I didn't lose that time. So I mean, a day that was looking bad turned out to be really good after it was really good. Now it's, and you could stick it out, it could change up, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of different things. And I was just showing kind of the way my thought process goes and the why I do things and why I don't do things, and kind of the idea if I ran into a situation where it was going bad, why I would do what I'm going to do. There's a thought process to everything I do. I don't ever go to the casino with no thought process involved. I don't do that. I don't play that way. I'm always thinking my way through what's going on. I always pay attention. I'm not going to allow myself to get caught up in the game usually. Now, there is a difference if I go to the casino with friends and we're just having a good time, but I'm not going to put $1,000 on the table, right? I'm going to put 300 on the table and we're going to have a good time. There's a little difference there. It's not the same thing. I'm going there to make money. I'm going to go there to make money. The thought processes will be there. All the moves and the adjustments are going to be there because that's what I'm trying to do. And that's kind of the nature of that. Obviously, there was a point in time we could have left 500 up. We could have licked our wounds and left 500 down. Or we stuck it out, got some good points, and now we're leaving up, or whatever the case may be. Someday, George, someday. The thing is, when you went to Vegas, that like landed on like the worst time for me because it was right when I was starting my new job there in Colorado. Like it landed exactly on the wrong time. And I didn't want to call in like on my first days, my first week, and be like, "Hey, I got to go to Las Vegas." It was just the wrong time for me. But again, I mean, a lot of this stuff, guys, there's all kinds of ways to win at the game. It's not specific to just one style of play, and I hear that a lot. I hear that there's only like people are like, "Oh, you this is the only way to win. You can't win other ways. The other ways don't work." That's just not true. I mean, I can sit here and play a different way, a totally different way than I played right there, and I can still win. And because I understand. Oh no, I understand, Georgia. It wasn't your fault. I should have adjusted to you because you're the one that was coming from halfway across the world. So, but again, I could play 3 point Molly right here. I could play 3 point Molly, and I can make it work. I don't have very much faith in it because I think it's a terrible strategy, but I can make it work. I can do little adjustments in game, throw different sized combats out to cover 7 hits. And there's some little things you can do in the 3 point Molly to adjust it and to make it valuable. It's still not very good. The success rate of it is very low. Uh, I appreciate that, but I could do it. So there's a lot of ways to win, and the reason I brought that one up is because that's the pass line plus odds is the best house edge. It's the only way to win. You hear that a lot. That's really BS. So, but you can win that way. I'm not saying you can't. And if you're really good at throwing the dice, it is a pretty good way to win, because if you're willing to put those max odds out there, you are going to get a pretty good little payout. But you can also just place bet all those same bets at them same prices if you're that good of a shooter. So it does. There's some parts of the line plus odds stuff that doesn't make a lot of sense. If you're that good at hitting numbers, just play the numbers. I mean, and that's just my personal opinion. So right here, we're going to do something a little different. I'm just going to play pure light side, right? Got $1,000 here again. Pass line, all right? But what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the 320. All right, so we dropped the dealer 320, $7,000 field. That's right, baby. All right, 320. I need all greens. So this is also a way to play craps right here. All pure light side. 320 is $50 on each one, well, 60 on the 6 and 8. Oh, what happened here? Okay, there we go. And I am going to work on the come out. I'm going to be on. Use Patty's chip here. Green, white, and rolled indicate that I'm on here. That's not a $25 chip. It's just Patty's chip that he sent me. Appreciate you, Patty. I'm going to shoot the dice roll that I rolled the best with, 6-5-4-2, and see. I'm going to obviously attempt to not roll a 7 here. A 7 here would be very devastating. All right, here we go. Let's see what we got. Can we make it happen? And we got an 11, okay? That was very anticlimactic. Got a $15 winner. All right, maybe we put that over here on the C. Three-way crapper. It's a free bet. You either do that or you put it on the hard ways, in my opinion. All right, see if we can make this happen. 4 the hard way. Should have put it on the hard ways. Color me up. Yep. Yeah, okay. Send, go home, right? Nice hit. All right. So we just won $100. We're gonna have to drop $2 to get our 100. All right, so we're just playing pure light side here, right? So how do you play pure light side and still manage your money? Well, you got to regress, right? So I just won 100, bam, right here. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can. I've seen lots of people win by just playing the field. I've actually seen that quite a bit. So right here, I could regress down to 96 across right here and play this 96 across for free. In my opinion, that makes a ton of sense. All right. But a lot of people will want to like play this for 3 rolls. They'll be like, I'm going to roll 3 rolls and see if I can get it. Let me see if I can do it. There's the 9. There's the 549. It's going to win $70. So now we're up like 170. All right. So now, to me, 110 inside or 160 makes a ton of sense, right? But we're going to stick to the 3 rolls and then we'll make our regression. And the 3 rolls does make sense. It does make sense from defeating the 7, right? Because the 7 should come between the 4th and the 8th roll somewhere. Thank you, buddy. So we should have a pretty good chance to miss here. We'll see if we can. And we got the 8, so that's another $70. So we've made it through 3 rolls on the 320. And now we can make our regression. So I'm just going to regress down to 160. To me, it makes the most sense at this point. So now you can't lose because you've made more than $160. So now you're on free roll, right? So you're a free roll 160. So I have two thought processes on this. Thought process number 1 is you just go for it, right? Half press the whole way, and whatever happens, happens. The second thought process I have is you turn these off and wait till the next shooter and then try to do it again, right? Because you're playing it for free. So to me, either way works. Obviously, if you're shooting the dice, if it's not someone else shooting the dice, I would say stick it out, go for it, trust yourself, have some faith in yourself. But if it's someone else, I'd probably turn them off. And there's the 9, 6, 3. And so that's just the way that's how I would look at this, right? So obviously I'm showing a whole nother way to win. I don't have no don't bets. I don't have no coverage. I'm just trusting that I can fit inside the numbers to the point where I'm not just going to lose. Put 15 on the 5 here, rack that quarter. So I'm just going to half press on up and see how far I can get. Here we go. Hard 6 the hard way. Another $35. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stack that up on the 9, rack that quarter. Here we go. 6, the easy way. 35. Okay, I'm going to put 18. Get some 1s on that. 8. Rack that quarter. So, so right here, all we're doing is just making money because it's all free roll, right? We've already won more than what we have out there. So hopefully we just keep making numbers and we keep building them up and see what happens. And there's the 3. Okay, so this is an indicator for some people. If they roll a horn when they're shooting the dice, a lot of times they feel like their roll is kind of over, right? This is definitely an indicator. I've heard people talk about that. And my roll was over. So, I mean, maybe it's true. Because that was a really beautiful roll. Hey, Waylon. That was a really beautiful shot. Like the visual of the shot was really pretty, but it still popped up 5-2. Now with 6-5-4-2, it makes sense to roll some 5-2s, right? If you have a 6-5-4-2 dice set, basically they're facing you. The 5-2 is looking at you, so you should probably roll some of them. So here we go. Here come the 4 and 10s. I like playing the 4 and 10 myself. Here's what's crazy is I like playing the 4 and 10 both ways, right? So I like laying it. I like playing against them. I like playing with them. I mean, the thing about the 4 and 10, what's unique to the 4 and 10 to the rest of the game of craps, is that the 4 and 10 is comparable to the 7. It's exactly comparable, right? So you can play it either direction, and as long as you're willing to do some money moves, some progression or regression type moves, you're probably going to make money off the 4 and 10. Now, sometimes it can be a very boring play because either you just don't see them, they disappear on you, or it just doesn't work sometimes based upon that they're just hard to roll individually. But so, I mean, I like the 4 and 10 personally. All right, so we just did the 320 across, regressed down to 160 after 3 hits, made some money. I don't know, we made a couple $100. I don't know what we made. Made some money though, and obviously that's another way to play. I don't play that way, but you can play that way, and it can be very successful. All right, there's all kinds of ways to play this game. All right, believe it or not, guys, that is true. I like that. I like that 0.7 now. Yeah, if you're trying to win money, you should be very calm. You should try to keep your emotions in check very well, because you don't want to get out there. But like, for example, there's all kinds of lay strategies. Like, for example, I don't like laying the back wall, but the math of laying the back wall says it's a very good point. It's a very good play. I just don't like it because I feel like you always start down. When you roll the number, you're always in the negative to start. And I get that the 7 rolls a lot. Set it for 3-2-4-1. Okay, let me see what I can do. 3-2-4-1. And we're gonna play $100 4, $100 10. Play it correctly. Let's get a line bet out there. And then we're gonna have quarters on the hards, right? 3-2-4-1. We're working this thing. We're gonna work it. 3-2-4-1. Okay. So let me see if I can make this work. All right. 4 and 10. We're working this thing. Let's put green, white, and rolled back out there, indicating we are working. 3-2-4-1. Here we go. Hard 10. Right out the door. Right out the door. That's George's training. George's training. That is a very, very beautiful thing, George. Right there. That simple, right? That's how easy it is. Let's go in 200 right there. Bam, right there's going to win 175. All right. Obviously, we got to press this. Can't not press now. All right, here we go. 3-2-4-1. All right. See if I can make it happen again. Here we go. That's a good shot. Oh, that was pretty looking. It looks so good. So that's the hard 7 I rolled. So what's funny about those 2 shots right there, right, is the first one didn't look nowhere near as good out of my hand as the second one. The second one was much prettier than the first. But again, so that was 1 for 2. I don't ever throw for those numbers. I usually throw against them. So 3241. Okay, so the way this, okay, let's try it again. Yeah, I got to throw it lower to make it work consistently. I got to have less action on the dice, George. We're working. There's the 12. Okay, that's good though, because that means I shot it correctly. I can make this work. I just have to get it much lower to the table. Much lower. Oh, there's the 7. I got to keep the action off of him. That was a good shot for that, but I just didn't hit it. Just missed it. So when I do try to hit 4s and 10s, I like to shoot the dice sets that say 4 and 10 on them. So we're gonna go to 200 and we're gonna go to 50. All right, this is progressive, right? You gotta if you're going to take your shot, don't get scared. 3, 2, 4. And this is such a weird way to roll the 10 and 4, but obviously you know what you're talking about, so I'm gonna trust you. Hard 8. So I've got a bunch of hard ways out of this already, which is, I'm sure, what I'm supposed to be getting. But not, I got the hard 10 right away. Here we go. 9. That's weird, right? Pretty sure I wasn't supposed to do that. 6, okay. 3, 2, 4, 1. Okay, maybe. No, I'm shooting it right. I'm shooting it correctly. Oh, that's bad. Hey, we got a winner. Point made. Same thing, we're working. That's a good shot. Oh, right on the hard 12. George, I'm getting this hard 12 out of here. What's going on there? I'm getting the 12. And I don't think I should be getting the 12. So I need to go off axis. Okay. I'm going to give it a little angle to get them off. Every time I do that, I get a 7 though. If I don't keep them low to the table, I get that ugly number. Oh, I got beat up again. Beat to death. Took all my money. And I win a quarter. No, did I win a quarter? I don't know. I think I lost. Let's do this one more time. See if we can get it all back. I like challenges like this. We're working. Five, 6. That makes more sense to me. This makes a lot more sense to the way I would throw it. Because I would look at it like, hey, I need to throw those numbers. Let's put it on those numbers so I can try to stay in line. Hey, and there's the 4 right away. This is going to lose. We're going to get, it's going to pay 200, but I'm going to get 195. Hello? And it won right away. Yeah, this makes a lot more money. I mean, more sense to me. Because this is how I would do it. Heart of 8. Okay, that makes sense to me as well. 5, 6. 5, 4. Oh, it went on the wrong side. Look, I got the 5 deuce. And if you're trying to roll the 4 or the 10, the 5 deuce is... It's just so brutal to lose on that number. On the 5 deuce. So brutal. Yeah, that exploded left. Anytime I explode left, it's bad. Anytime. Yeah, anytime I explode to the left, it's a bad roll for me. My rolls need to look like this. They need to just stay in one spot for them to be consistent. Anyways, that was really fun. Again, normally I roll against those numbers. I don't really ever roll for them. So that's one of the things is I generally roll against them. Like I try to miss them as opposed to try to hit them. But again, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys that watched from the beginning, obviously the end, we had a detour here. Had a detour into Waylon's world. Waylon and George's world. So, but again, thank you guys for everything, and thank you for watching. You guys always do great for me. And please, if you have not subscribed to Squared Pair or any of the other channels, guys, go check them out. There's a lot of craps channels out there. Bengals, no way. The Bengals are the worst team to ever make the Super Bowl, I think. Like statistically. Are they worse than the Giants from a couple years ago? I don't know. Maybe not. I'm on the Rams, guys. If anyone wants to know, I'm on the Rams. I like the Rams first half money line. The first half money line for the Rams. It's where I'm at. It's where most of my money is at. I also like the Bengals to have over 1.5 field goals made in the game. That's another one of my favorite bets. I like the Rams first half money line. I just don't think. Yeah, I don't think the Bengals can block them. I don't think the Bengals can block the Rams D line, and that tends to wreck Super Bowls. If you have a big mismatch right there, you guys can think back. Even those Brady teams, the undefeated Brady team got beat by a defensive line, right? That the defensive line for the Giants was just ridiculous, and that's essentially what won the game. A couple years ago, when Brady lost to the Eagles, he lost to the Eagles, even though it was high scoring. He lost to the Eagles based upon their D line was pretty good. It tends to happen, right? The over and under, man, I'm not touching the over and under. I know all the big money players, they all like the under, but they bet it when it was at 50 and 50 and a half. So I'm not touching the over and under. I just like the Rams first half. Steve-O, Steve-O, Jamar Chase could have 2 TDs and the Bengals could still get blown out. I mean, that could literally happen. He could have 2 touchdowns in the game and the Bengals could still lose by 20. I mean, that's very realistic. The under makes sense, you guys. Most Super Bowls go under. Most Super Bowls do go under. It's pretty consistent. There has been obviously some super overs. But most Super Bowls kind of go under. The Rams are kind of an under team. And you wouldn't think about it, but so are the Bengals a little bit. The Bengals are also kind of an under team. And for this season. Another thing, guys, is, and one of the other things that I've been putting out is that the Rams score this season out of 20 games, they've landed even on an even number. Their personal score has landed on an even number 18 times out of 20 games. That is ridiculous. You just 18 times out of 20. And all 3 playoff games, the Rams have landed on an even number. So that's a bet I've put out for a couple weeks. It's just a very odd trend. That should be way closer to 50-50, but it's 18-2, which is astounding, really. It's just crazy for it to be that lopsided. So I actually have a bet on that as well, for them to land on an even number. It's just very odd to have it that weird. It's all fixed. Yep, that's true. If you don't believe it's all fixed, just go look at the post I made. There's a lot of comments there. I don't think it's all fixed. If you want to think it's all fixed, that's fine too. I mean, if it is, then you should be figuring out how they fix it, and that way you can make money. Thanks, George. Personally, I think they will go over too. I'm not betting it because last time the Rams played in the Super Bowl against the Patriots, it was the number 2 offense and the number 4 offense. And I bet the over. And I actually got the over at a really good number. I think I got it at 52. And it went all the way up to 56. And obviously that one did not go over. That was like 17-10 or whatever, 13-10 or some crap. I can't remember, but that was just a couple years ago. But that was the 2nd best offense and the 4th best offense in the NFL. And so yeah, I mean, I have a lot of bets on this game, but my favorite ones. Another prop I really like is Odell Beckham's longest reception. Oh, his longest reception's only 26 or whatever it is. I think he'll have longer than that. He'll have a reception longer than that in the game. That's another bet I really like. I like Joe Burrow to throw an interception. I think that's another really good bet. And the reason being is because the Rams' defensive line is going to be in his face a lot. And if it does turn into a shootout, or if he does get behind, he's going to have to throw the ball. I mean, the Rams are not the Chiefs. The Rams are not Tennessee, and the Rams are not Oakland. The Rams' defense is legit. And they're probably going to pick Burrow off in the game. I like that one a lot. I actually like Joe Burrow to throw over 1.5 touchdowns as well. So I don't think the game is going to be like a boring game by any means. I do think that there's going to be turnovers and touchdowns and all that stuff. So another thing, a lot of people like the Cam Akers rushing props to go over. I don't like his rushing props to go over. People think that the Rams are just going to try to run the ball down the Bengals' throat. And I think the Bengals are actually going to try to stop the run instead of the pass first, like they did in the Kansas City game in the first half. And that's why I like the Rams first half. That's awesome. He is a winner, that's for sure. There's one thing about Burrow. He's very Burrow has a lot of, he has a lot of backbone, because he was at Ohio State. He wasn't getting on the field. He transferred to LSU, won a national title. I mean, he had a lot of help with him, but obviously he was as much of the winning as anything, because, I mean, look, him and all of his receivers that were there are all doing really well in the NFL. So, I mean, obviously he was a huge part of that. The only thing that's not left is the coach, right? The coach, he's no longer the LSU coach. So, but no, I like Burrow and I like Cincinnati, but I'll be honest, I'm not betting Cincinnati to make the playoffs next year. I'm actually betting against them to make the playoffs again, because I think Cincinnati just got really lucky this year. And basically Ben Roethlisberger was playing with a walker. Lamar Jackson was out a big majority of the year. and the Browns were destroyed by injuries all year long. The Bengals were relatively healthy all year long. So and they still, guys, the Bengals only went 10-7. Let's not forget that. They were borderline not making the playoffs there right at the end of the year. So I actually think those other teams, healthy, are better football teams. Um, so where would Brady come back to? Tampa Bay? Because I actually think Tampa Bay is the best landing spot for all these high end quarterbacks, right? Like Russell Wilson goes to Tampa Bay, they're probably a Super Bowl contender again. If Aaron Rodgers ends up in Tampa Bay, they're a Super Bowl contender. The only thing that Brady would do with the Texans is buy them. He's not playing football for them. But no, I mean, guys, well, if the Texans could get their quarterback back, they'd be fine. If Deshaun Watson was there, they'd be fine. He's a really good player. I mean, you just got to keep him away from the Asian women. But no, I mean, I actually think Brady's going to purchase a football team or something, or he's going to get. I'm not saying he won't be a broadcaster. He probably will be. If Brady went to Dallas, they would be the favorite. That's for sure. Um, Personally, I hope Brady just retires because if he's not just going to stay in Tampa, where's a better place than Tampa? That division's not very tough. He's got a good defense there. San Francisco, go to San Francisco for 1 year. I could see that. He's a California guy. If he went to San Francisco, that would make them seriously, seriously amazing football team. You think Brady cares about income tax? I mean, his wife's basically a billionaire. He's probably not too far from a billionaire. I doubt he really cares all that much about that. I honestly think Brady just, yeah, I think that's what it is. He knows he's still healthy, and he doesn't want to go out there. Any hit could, at his age, could really do damage. I mean, it would be. I agree, Steve-O, if they're new to the league, but Brady has thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars roll in every day, probably from endorsements, and I mean, he probably has multiple state taxes that he pays because I'm sure he has multiple residences and businesses, and so I don't know how much he really cares about that. Now, other newer players, they should. Younger players, players that aren't as good with money, anybody on the Raiders, basically anybody ever associated with the Raiders. But yeah, I mean, guys, the Super Bowl is going to be a fun one. The one great thing about it is it's going to be a new winner, right? We're not going to have the same old here. So kind of new blood in there. I mean, even though the Rams have been good the last few years, obviously the Bengals have not. So I think the last time the Bengals had a real legit chance at the Super Bowl was that last Carson Palmer season, maybe. That when he got his leg hurt, because they were really good that year. It's probably the last real shot they had at something. Because even with Andy Dalton, he never really had a shot. Yeah, I think Stafford deserves a ring too. I think Stafford paid his dues at Detroit and got beat to death at Detroit for year after year. Had a couple good seasons, nothing spectacular as far as wins go. Got to a really good spot. I mean, good coach, good organization that wants to win right now. They went and got extra players to make sure they have a shot to win right now. They got to the big game. Now it's time for Stafford to earn that money. Stafford needs to come out and play his best game and, put a ring on his finger. You think Stafford almost gave the game away? It wasn't Stafford that was fumbling the football. It was all the other players there was 4 fumbles in that game, and none of them were Stafford. So Akers almost gave that game away. Now, in the 49ers game, Stafford tried to give it away. He threw it down the middle of the field right to the 49ers guy. The 49ers guy just, I don't know how he didn't catch the football. It hit him right in the chest. So I don't, it's very baffling. But again, but in that 49ers game, Jimmy G threw 5 interceptions, but they only caught 1. I mean, one of them hit Ramsey right in the chest. Yeah. You know, Jimmy G threw the ball and hit Ramsey in the chest with it for a pick 6, and Ramsey dropped it. So, I mean, that game was back and forth. It was just a slugfest. They were just battling, and one came out on top. I mean, easily could have went the other way. My wife had bet before the season started that the 49ers would win the Super Bowl. So that bet was almost live here, but she didn't quite get it there. You know how I knew Jimmy G wasn't going to be a star? You know how? Because the Patriots were willing to get rid of him, knowing that Brady was probably almost done. You know, that's the one thing, you know, you're in Brady. What people forget is that the Patriots weren't just Tom Brady. The Patriots were a really good offensive line. They were a great defense year in and year out. They were the best coach of all time, probably, year in and year out. I mean, so the Patriots weren't just Brady. And personally, if I was the Patriots, the way they did everyone else, I'm really surprised they didn't trade Tom Brady later on in his career, let Jimmy G go for it. But that's what made me believe that Jimmy G wasn't going to be anything, was that they didn't do that. Because they could have got 2 number 1 draft picks for Tom Brady and reloaded everything with a new young quarterback. I mean, they could have done all that. So obviously they were willing to let him go. But anyways, I'm going to get off here. Been on here an hour and a half. I'll say this, Patrick Mahomes lost that game for the Chiefs, that's for sure. He definitely lost it for his team. It wasn't the other guys. I mean, you can say it's defense, this and that, whatever, but Patrick Mahomes was inside the 10 twice and didn't score touchdowns. It's very unusual. So, anyways, I would still take Patrick Mahomes first. If with the players in the league right now, with what I had to choose from, I would take Patrick Mahomes first every time. So, again, thank you guys for watching. Y'all have a great day.